All right, today we're keeping this one simple. We're building a Swedish torch. One log, one saw, one fire that actually does something useful to rule them all. No spectacle, no survival cosplay, and no burning down half the forest just to warm your hands. This is about clean heat, minimal materials, and letting the fire work the way it wants to. Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters, thanks for tuning in. Jeremy from Fireworks is out here with me again, and today we're looking at a fire build that's quiet, controlled, and honestly, underrated. This is the kind of fire you build when you don't want a big pit, you don't want a mess, and you don't want to overthink things. All right, let's talk about your log. Standing deadwood when you can find it. Dry, solid, nothing fancy. This isn't about perfection, and it's not about making it look good for the camera. It's about understanding how fire wants to move and giving it a path to do that efficiently. All right, gents, before you go ahead and touch your log, let's talk about what you'll actually need in terms of tools. All right, these are it. A saw, a fire kit, perhaps a little dry insurance, and a hatchet. All right, you're trained. That's not a gear dump, it's a baseline. If you got these things, you're not guessing. All right, and here's the important part. The same saw you use to cut the torch is the saw you use to get the material on site. You didn't forget anything. You didn't overpack, you just brought the right tool. This is an either-or situation. You don't need a pile of gear when you understand what each tool can actually do. Hey kids, Durable Dads here, bringing you real gear tests, dad-approved tips, and adventures that actually work. If you're one of the 86% watching but not subscribed, hit that button. It's one click for you, and it keeps this party rolling. All right, dads, if you didn't bring any material with you and you want to grab something on site, here's something that's just about perfect. Okay, now, theoretically, it's sitting on top of that other piece of deadfall, or this has been cut down, and it's laying on top of the other one, so it should be dry. Now, my only caution is this still has the bark on it, and bark's where the moisture tends to be kept. So if you wanted to buck things up, we're going to cheat today and bring out the chainsaw, but if you had your little buck saw with you, this would be a nice 2 or 3 chunks to give you a nice afternoon. Behind me, set up is a pre-made torch that we're going to get set up, and we're going to extol the virtues of this particular build. Now, actually building one from scratch in the field with some of the materials we've already gotten maybe shouldn't fit into this video, but it's definitely in the pike. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and if you'd like to see something like this. Okay, let's go get to a fire. All right, here we have our freshly prepared, or the night before, piece of Swedish torch, piece of wood for this special occasion. Now, dads, if you had this in mind, prepping one in advance is probably a really great idea anyway. Even if you are making one in the field, having an extra is never a bad idea. So let's get this one rolling, and so we can see how it works. Jeremy, if you want to do the honors of getting this sucker started.
Sure.
And just kind of discuss with us what the plan is and why it was built like this, and the concept behind a Swedish torch.
So the curve cuts in it is for airflow and to make it easier to ignite. Nice flat top so you can put a pot or a pan on there,
Perfect.
boil your water, cook your coffee.
Right, because we don't make a fire without coffee.
No. So I'm gonna light the fire on top basically, and the air is just gonna suck in. It's similar to a Dakota fire hole.
Perfect.
It's just
okay,
gonna
yeah.
feed itself oxygen, right? Because as the fire is burning, it's pulling oxygen out.
Excellent.
So typically I like to make these out of birch. Birch is just it burns a little slower, not quite as hot as say pine or fir or spruce or something like that, but the smell, everything's nice.
Absolutely, and a birch is going to be a little bit of a longer burn too.
A longer burn, and also like if you're cooking over it, I find that the resins and everything in pine and well any conifer tree is just gives a acidic taste to it.
Right. Also, there's going to be a ton of soot from the smoke too.
Yeah.
So, what piece of wood did we have today? It looks like a nice piece of fir.
It is a nice piece of fir. Unfortunately, everything around here is still quite moist. So this is the best I could find in short notice.
Okay.
What you would like to do is, the best thing to do is if you're going to pre-prep these, go out and make a bunch of them, put them in your garage or whatever, just let them dry over a period of time.
Perfect.
This was cut yesterday, so this might give us a little bit of trouble getting it started, but we shall see.
Sweet. We got a little bit of a breeze going here too. Nice. I see that you've got some nice sap chunks in there.
Yeah, just
Awesome.
in the hopes of a little head start kind of thing.
Absolutely. Look at that. Nice. And so you use the shavings and some bark shavings in there to get it rolling. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Get a bit of a head start. And once everything goes and it starts feeding itself, it's not so bad, but these can be kind of temperamental to get started.
Right. Well, there's nothing shielding it either. There's no ring. It's like right up there,
Yeah.
out in the elements. And we picked a nice stump here. This is a perfect little work table if you can possibly find one.
Yes.
So, a couple of nice things about this, in my estimation, is first of all, I'd like to kind of talk about what's the burn time, do you think, on one of these?
Something like this, it can go up to about an hour.
About an hour? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. The nice thing, if you were to put this in a nice prepared area, it's entirely possible as this burns down, it becomes the starter for a longer fire too, as well, right?
Yes, for sure.
Just keep adding to it, essentially.
Yeah, and if you, the way I like to make them is just cut them in 4 and then
Okay.
coring out the center. And
Okay,
then that
perfect.
way, if you say boil a pot of water and you're done, you
Right.
can just dismantle it, put them out, and then it's good to go again next time. You just put it back together,
Excellent.
lay it up again. So you're good for 2 or 3 boils, depending on what you're cooking, or if you're just making a pot of coffee or whatever. Then
Right. Okay, so potentially with this, if we don't let it burn down, we could take some snow, put this one out, and then just pack it with us? Or would that be recommended?
this style, yeah, you could do that, but you don't really want to pack it with you. Maybe if you're camping, you could put it out and have it ready for the morning.
Right.
I don't know, it kind of makes a bit of a mess packing it with you, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, no, this is looking like it's starting to go. Very nice.
Possibly. I got a nice chunk fat wood here, so
Excellent. Always with the fat wood,
always with fat wood.
right? And it's going to smell, it already smells amazing. So here we go. Okay, so you know what? This looks like the perfect size for the coffee pot. And a hot cup of coffee on a nice cool day. I think it's about -5 out today. Beautiful and sunny. We couldn't ask for a nicer day. but a hot cup of coffee would be amazing. This thing doesn't throw off a ton of heat. This is more of a cooking.
Yeah, this is same as the Dakota fire hole. Is kind of all heat is up
Yeah,
top,
warm on
not
it.
radiant.
Right, exactly. But still, just an amazing, easy build. Again, just to reiterate, we are going to do how to build one, and then we'll optimal build for when you're out in the field.
Yes.
Okay, that's coming up next. But for right now, I better get a cup of coffee on. This thing's looking like it's going to start being ready for that, to boil some water.
Looks like it might take off pretty quick.
Absolutely. Okay, catch you next clip. Okay, kids, coffee is on. I think we see a little condensation. Coffee should be soon, because, we don't do anything without making coffee, or we don't make a fire without making coffee. Not around here. So, a couple of quick takeaways from this one. Minimal materials, controlled heat, and dead easy cleanup. This is a Campfire that actually makes sense to build and use. It's not flashy, and it's not meant to impress anyone from a distance, but it is pretty damn predictable, efficient, and practical, which honestly makes it one of the better fires to have in your pocket. And as always, gratuitous fire, coffee, and nature footage.
Do you guys have kids?
No. You don't. And of course, Mom, here's your share. I saved you some, and this isn't decaf because I don't want anything bad to happen to me. Cheers. Big thanks to Jeremy here from Fireworks for coming out again and breaking this down the right way. Simple build, real understanding, and no wasted motion. If this one helped you rethink how much fire you actually need, hit like, pass it along, and keep Durable Dads on your radar. We're here for practical builds, clean heat, and gear that earns its place. Until next time, build smart, burn clean, and don't make more work for yourself than you need to. We'll see you out there. So here's us, keeping the coffee hot and the saws sharp. Peace out, Scout.